What's going on, Paisanos? V here. Come at you guys. Well, another market watch today. You know, it's really weird. It's the third month into the new year, and I got sick twice. One time because a friend was sick and decided to go to the gym being sick. Want to get me sick. Another time, my kid he got sick from a kid in school and decided to bring it home. Nothing you can really do with that. You just get sick. I will say, though, I'm back. I'm feeling better than ever. And it feels really good. Hopefully, no one else gets sick around me. I'm just trying to hang out. I barely go out. But somehow I got sick twice. It happens. And as you get older, it just happens naturally. Listen, Paisanos, the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been going kind of wild in its prices. Some cards have been tanking, while others, we don't even know why it's there in value. Like, it should be down. Other cards have been rising. We'll be talking about that in this Mark Watch. Before I begin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment down below. Let me know right now, what deck are you playing? Because I know everyone isn't playing Kashiras. Not everyone isn't focusing on what ideally is the top deck of the meta. Most represented deck of the meta, not everyone's playing. So once again, comment down below, what deck are you playing and why? Why is it good? Why is it your deck? Is it winning? Is it not winning? Some Yu-Gi-Oh players are really content with playing decks like heroes. They'll play it throughout, no matter what meta, because they still like the deck. And are you one of those? Let me know in the comments down below. But look, speaking of Kashiras, look at the prices of Photon Hypernova. I mean, for the most part, these prices are going down. For the most part. It's really hard to say because other cards like Triple Tactics Thrust, in my opinion, might be rising in value. This almost feels like how it was with Triple Tactics Talent and Forbidden Droplet. When they originally came out, the prices weren't really high until the set was hard to get, and then everybody wanted the card. Now, how many Triple Tactics Thrust do you buy? 2, 3? That's also all up in the air. I really don't know. I currently own 3 of this card. I'm not going to get rid of mine. I'm going to hold mine, and the reason why is because I don't want to be in that same boat where everyone was with Triple Tactics Talents. And, once again, Forbidden Droplet. Other cards like Pressure Planet, Ray Soft, there's about 53, doesn't really change. Kashira Theosis is roughly around 40s, by the way. So, we really haven't seen much of a change in the prices of Kashiras. They're pretty much here. In my opinion, I do think they'll slowly go down. They're not going to tank in value like immediately, but they will slowly start going down more and more and more. Kashira Rise Heart, which debuted roughly around $35, well, it's about $13. The rest of the Kashira stuff is dirt, by the way. If you're looking at Telemans Kashira, remember that? Yeah, $3.85. The card was about 25s. Kashira Rise Heart being 25s as well, $3.74. I mean, it's really hard not to own a playset of these because they're so dirt cheap. Even cards like Big Welcome Labyrinth, which debuted at 20, is holding about $4. Great Keeper Inscription, this is interesting. It went all the way down to 8, then down to 6, and it's basically never left. It's still roughly around $6 a copy for this card. I still think this is a great card to hold. I don't think it's good right now, but then again, who knows how the meta shifts. I think it's definitely an interesting card that Yu-Gi-Oh players might want to consider moving forward in this game. I mean, as far as the rest of the Starlight Rares, they're all over the place. Grand Gano's never changed, been around 200s. Rise Heart is fighting to go to 250. It's not there yet. Mirror Jade, I mean, I want to get 2 of these so badly, but is it worth it? Like, seriously, is it worth it? Because we still have one more balance before Nationals. And after Nationals, let's be honest, we're going to be really honest with ourselves, Brain Knight's probably going to get pushed aside for something else. Maybe Power Crept, who knows? But right now, that looks amazing to buy, but the price is so crazy high. Alright, then we have OTS Pack 21. Now, OTS Pack 21 pretty much is down all over the place. Well, Sprite Brew really hasn't really changed. The current value of the card's roughly around $51. Tillman's Rhinoheart is about 24, down from like 26. Kashira Fenrir was roughly around 140. That price point is down to $80. As Yu-Gi-Oh players keep cracking open OTS Tournament Pack 21, Kashira Fenrirs are going to be going down in value. It also coincides with the declining value of Kashiras as a deck overall. As it continues to go down, nobody's going to want to pay $80 for, or $100 or $160 for Ultimate Kashira Fenrir. They just don't care about it as much. In fact, looking at regular Fenrir, the ultra price was roughly around 70. I remember it being around 60s. Has been declining. This card price currently is roughly around $40. This person has 20 of them available at $40 a copy. I'll be honest with you though, the value is going to continue to go down. It's fighting to stabilize. You can see it continually fight to stabilize. You do see its sales. I mean, look right here. These 3 sales were today. Someone bought a playset, another playset after that fired off. But the value is trying to fight to stabilize. And the wall at 20, well, that's just the floor of Kushira's. The value of this deck core is going to continue to go down, even though it's the best deck, because YuGiOh players aren't dumb. They know a balance is coming right before Nationals, and Kushira's don't need that many balance hits in order to be not relevant by Nationals. I will say, though, if Kushira's are not hit before Nationals, everyone's going to be buying this. The price will rise. It'll happen in a blink of the eye, so keep an eye out for those ban lists. Next, well, Amazing Offenders is valuable. I mean, yeah, sure. The CRs, obviously, but still, Pearly's $95. My friend Pearly, $97. Pretty Pearly Memory CR, $80. And these are all up a bit. Pearly CR as the only one, it really isn't, but it's pretty crazy how the value of these CRs have spiked exponentially. 141, which is the ideal CR, is roughly around $46. In fact, that card and Card Trooper, which I would assume would be the valuable CR, is about $33. These should be the money cards, but they're somehow not. And it's so mind-blowing because everyone's getting it for Pearlies because of OCD. You get a little more support. Pearlies can become meta, but are they meta enough? Will they be meta by Nationals is the overall question. Everything right now, the number one question is it good enough for Nationals? If the answer is yes, people are buying into it. If the answer is no, well, people are just letting it flow in the island. Some people are dumping it, and that's what we're seeing here. I mean, look at Bestial Rebellion. People are just not wanting to play with the card as much. When the bans first came out, this card was, everyone saying you need 3 of this card. Now, the values are about $70 down from roughly around $90 in value. Now, is Bestial Rebellion still a great card? Absolutely. Is it still going to see play and brand moving forward? Yes. Are some builds of branded breaking away and not playing Bestial Rebellion? Yes. That is actually happening. We're also seeing cards like Blazing Cartesia rise in value only, and you can see in the past month alone, only to start coming down. So roughly around 50, the value now holds the card roughly around $43. Why is Blazing Cartesia going down? Well, simple. The only debate between his cards is do you play 1 or 2? And the majority of those players are playing 1 Blazing Cartesia, which I think is correct as well. That's why the value of this card is going down. And that's why we're seeing it go down. If you have an extra one, sell it, because the value is still tanking on this card. It's fighting to stabilize. It's not going to win that fight. In fact, Red Eye Star Dragoon has been rising in value. Exponentially, by the way. The price is roughly around $220. You look over here. It's actually roughly around $345. This past Friday, I checked the price of this card. It was at $300. Why is this card rising? Well, because every version of Branded, instead of putting that engine, the Bestial engine, going heavy on Bestials, they're realizing, every Branded player, the Bestial engine is really good against, well, only Branded mirrors, maybe? And even then, maybe? The Bestial engine, it really isn't good against a lot of other deck cores. That's why it's getting pushed aside. I do think Bestials is still going to see play in the future of this game, but it's just not happening as much right now. In fact, a lot of branded builds are playing Dragoon because it's harder for other decks to play against that. In fact, I would argue if Dragoon is on the ban list, you can be sure one of the top decks that will win Nationals will be playing Dragoon. No question about it. Some branded builds love this card so much, they're playing 2 in the extra deck. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I completely changed my branded build from when you last saw it, and I'm going to be playing it today on Twitch TV, YuGiOh_Paisano. Once you go ahead and hit that follow button, I'm going to be playing branded today. I have a new build, and we're going to talk about it and see if this build is the good build. Is it worth it? Is this the build that everyone should play? This build does not play no Lubellions. It plays only 1 Bestial. And once again, like I said, if you guys want to check that build out, I'm going to be playing live. I play remote duel locals every day, Monday through Fridays, roughly around 6 p.m. I play in remote duel local tournaments, and I definitely recommend you guys check the Twitch stream out because we play a lot of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh players throughout the entire locals. Listen, there are always winners and there are always losers in these kind of weird market scenarios. Destiny with Destroyer, Phoenix Enforcer, in my opinion, might be one of those winners. I always about cards that you should sell, and a lot of people go, okay, V, but what do I buy? This Starlight Rare should not be this low at all. No question about it. It's not even up for debate. TCU Play says you can buy 400. What if I told you it's way less than that? The current value of this card, and you can see over here, it's starting to go down a lot more. because unlimited in first edition, but you only care about first edition. The current value of this card for first edition, by the way, is roughly around $225. Destiny Hero Phoenix of Force right now is only realistically good in Heroes. And you might go, V, I don't care. This card is still a really good card. It's a really broken card. And since business aren't seeing as much play, this card potentially can. Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Force is a phenomenal card that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players always keep in the back of their mind. The reason this card didn't see almost no play because it was dark, and if you're playing Bystials, that's dinner. But now, in my opinion, I think Bystials might be moving away, and we'll talk about that later on in this Twitch stream. But it's really interesting to see that this card is just going down in value. I mean, even the past month, it's still, well, it's starting to stabilize, but for the most part, it's still going down for the unlimited market. Nonetheless, this card right here is a card I really find fascinating because a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players forgotten about this card. But I think it's great value. Just like Ghost Spirit Winter Cherries. So if you're playing Kashiras and you call your opponents, you know, their main Kashira monster, you know, their, that little guy, Rise Heart, if you call that with Ghost Spirit Winter Cherries, how are they going to beat you? Real question, by the way. They're going to play beatdown with cute effects of the deck. Because a Rise Heart is the core of Kashiras. And if you could Ghost Spirit Winter Cherries that card away, the game's over. Flip it now. They're playing against Branded. You get rid of their Mirror Jade. I'm not saying they can't beat you. I'm just saying it's really hard for them to beat you. They're going to have to go in Lubellion, waste the Lubellion effect to go Psycho, and then they have to play a second Lubellion. Some Branded builds are not playing a second Lubellion, and that's GG. Ghost Spirit Winter Cherries is probably one of the best cards nobody's talking about right now. And Ultimate Rare out of OTS Storm Pack 20. This card right now is valued at roughly around 23 to 24 with shipping for this card. This is a heavily undervalued card. It's a card everyone kind of forgot about. And I'll be honest with you, hand traps that are OTS, ES Ultimate Rares are always worth value. They always are. Ghost Ogre Ultimate Rare, worth crazy value. Droll Lockboard, worth crazy value. Do they still see play? No, but why they're worth value? Because the market absorbed them and they're hard to replenish. And whenever people want to need them, the values spike up high. I think Ghost Spirit Winter Cherry Ultimate Rare is probably going to be the next card I'm going to be picking up for myself. I own one of these. I need to get 2 more of these Ultimate Rares. These are absolutely beautiful Ultimate Rares, and I think these cards are cards that can make the difference between winning and losing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't even need to hit a Rise Heart. There's so many other Kashira cards you can hit. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. What else would you hit? Divine Herald, though, is in a weird position where you got the original Prince Secret Rare rising in value, hitting near, what, $14? And then you look at Divine, and then you look at the Prismatic Secret Rare, and that's going down. It's actually roughly around $7. Why is that? In my opinion, I think it's because a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players that after Banless were all like coped up going, you know what, no big deal. I still think we can play Telements. You just gotta run 3 Diviners. Easy mode. And everyone ran to Diviners because nobody did their own research or focus on the fact that this doesn't really do anything. Listen, I think Divine Herald's a phenomenal card, don't get me wrong, but I do think that it doesn't really fit in any deck. I think you have a better chance of playing this card in Drytrons than you do in what's left of Telements. I'm not saying Telements are dead, but yeah, that's why the value is so high. In fact, I would imagine Secret Rare Diviners would potentially go down in value the minute the players realize there's a discrepancy in the prices of these 2 cards. Then we have Pot of Prosperity. Now, this is a card you're going to need 3 of. Original Print Secret Rares are like 70. The 10 reprints are a lot cheaper, but they've been rising slowly, by the way. They used to be about $37 currently right now. They're about, well, that's moderately played. They're about almost near $60 for Pot of Prosperities. Why are they rising, you might ask? Well, once again, every deck besides a very few amount need this card. Yu-Gi-Oh players moving forward need this card. In the OCG, this card is semi. I just woke up, so I'm like my brain's just getting put together. In the OCG, this card is semi-limited. That's how good this card is. In fact, in TCG, would anyone be surprised if this card was to be semi-limited? Like, realistically, no, nobody would. Programmable Series is a phenomenal card, don't get me wrong, but a lot of players are using it, and of course, it's a banless contender. So, even though I think this card is rising, even though I think this is a great card, is it really worth it? I don't know, man. The value is too high for this card. I don't think it's a good card to go in and buy right now. I think it's a really not good card, a card you might want to stay away from. Then we have Triple Texas Talents. Don't worry about it. The card prices went down, allegedly. I'll be honest with you. Triple Texas Talents is probably one of my favorite cards in this game. But I don't understand why the Starlight Rare is so high. I mean, obviously the Starlight Rare, but it went from 735 to 700, allegedly, once again. You look over here, the price is actually roughly around $720. Now, the reason why this card's still a lot of money, besides the fact that it's a Starlight Rare, is because it does see some play in this side deck. In fact, talents, overall, besides that, and the Goofy Pharaoh Rares, are still worth a decent amount of money. They haven't really fell too hard. With the release of Triple Attack the Thrust, you would think YuGiOh Players would play 2 Thrusts, 2 Talents, but hey, listen, Talents itself is still a broken card. And if you don't want to shell out the $70 for Thrust, and I don't blame you, you're going to go ahead and buy... Actually, I do blame you. You should really get that card if you can. But you really will play your Talents. I mean, they're only 15 bucks, and $50 for a card in which has 3 broken effects, it's a pretty good deal. Chaos Hammer Dragon, the Dragon Armageddon, Secret Rare Out of Bounds Legends is insanely expensive. Despite the fact that it used to be around roughly near $92, it is going down. It's roughly around $56. Chaos Dragon Armageddon is a phenomenal card, don't get me wrong, but this card is basically useless. It's seeing almost no play. The reason people hold this card is because it's a prize card, and the 4 Pendulum players that exist in our game that just pretend like Kashira's never really existed. Don't exist. They're gonna get banned. Don't worry about it. Play Pendulums. Chaos Dragon Armageddon is a phenomenal card, but realistically, it's not worth its value. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised Konami makes a reprint of this card, and even then, that's not going to hold good value. I do think the Secret Rare is going to be going down in the future. Then we have Traptic Sarah. Okay, so this card was as a low of $13. The current value of this card is roughly around $42. I will say the reason why this card's so much money is because everyone's now getting involved in Traptrix to release a Traptrix structure deck. Which, don't get me wrong, it's pretty much a really good meta deck out the box. And it comes with common Sarah, but hey, you want your Secret Rares, I understand. The thing is, Traptrix is just a weaker version of Labyrinth. That's all it is at the end of the day. I don't think Traptrix is a bad deck. I don't think Traptrix is a deck people have to just push off. But let's be honest with you, the reason most players are playing Traptrix is because they don't get the money to play Labyrinth. That's the truth of the situation. I think Labyrinth beats Traptrix 9 times out of 10, and the 1 out of 10 is because the guy didn't show up to locals. He's probably taking a shit. Overall, though, I do think Traptrix is still a good deck and can still get players tops at locals and maybe even regional invites. But will this deck be on the top tables at the biggest events? No shot. I think players that are having money to shell out for hotels, for planes, to fly these events, and all that jazz, is not going to really want to play Traptrix out of YCS, or even maybe eventually the Nationals. I think YuGiOh players are going to be putting their money into a deck like Labyrinth. Once again, I don't think this is a bad deck, but don't go max rarity Traptrix unless you really like Traptrix. And if you do, that's fine, that's fair. But yeah, there's better options. But this is good. That's my way out of it, okay? So, because I know some Traptrix players are going to try to hit me up. V, you know what you're talking about. Traptrix is the best deck in the game, and it's so good, and Traptrix is amazing. It's tiered -4, and it's like, nah, bro, come on, man. It does cool stuff, but Labyrinth will smoke this deck so badly. Labyrinth, I think, would outpace it if it went to the same play, the same skill level with Traptrix and Labyrinth, and then went to a regionals or like a YCS. My money, if I had a bet, I'd bet on the Labyrinth player every day of the week. That player is going to do definitely better than Traptrix. Maybe Traptrix will get the invite, though. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Like I said, I'm all like, bleh, because it's, I just woke up. But guys, it feels good to be back. It feels good to record videos. I'm going to be streaming today at 6 o'clock. Once again, I greatly appreciate you guys come over and hang out. We're streaming Brandon, and it's going to be really fun, this new build. I haven't really had any time to test it. I just put it together. But I'm really excited about the new build. It's 41 cards. I'm trying to go to 40, but we'll talk about that later on today. It's your boy V, and you guys also have a great day.